Nene said. I said what I said, but I can retract, and I did.
So, do you want to talk about this Caitlyn Clark, Angel Reese thing, or do you want to table it?
Let's go back to that. I just want to say this. I want to.
You go back to OVO, Mike.
No, it's so much happening with because there's like this even with that there's like the conversation around like what Stephen A has said.
Hold on, I got it for you. I already got it for you. That's okay. I was waiting.
I was going to talk about the lake.
Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talk about women's sports more than First Take?
Stephen A. Respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Wow.
All right, we got to go. You guys.
So did you
you're my guy, but
who does more than
Stephen A., I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
Okay.
All right,
I got it.
You're my guy, but I'm talking to you.
I got it.
Guys, I really appreciate
you my girl, but you've missed a lot of episodes of First Take. You missed a lot.
Stephen A., 3 years ago, you would not talk about the W at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody was, Monica.
Guys,
you making Stephen A. point, Monica. Monica, you making Stephen A. point.
Please let me do my job. Please let me do my job. We've gone for 40 minutes straight. It was a riveting discussion. I have to get into commercial break. All right.
Who talks about?
So, Shannon had her on the nightcap.
Yes, I saw that.
Is what else is there to say? Because she said it, she was honest, about it. And I was even I watched the game last night. It was the Fever versus the Liberty. And she's absolutely correct. Like these players did have a hand in bringing more viewership, more seats to the WNBA. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. That's what it is. I would say in the past few years, like she said 3 years ago, but I would say now it's like sold out games. Like they're like, it's so that don't take that from them. It's the same thing that's happening now. What I think the hazing, I think there's a little hazing that's happening with the new girls and more so Caitlyn versus everybody else. And people, when Angel was at LSU,
hold on, I got one more clip for you. I want you to hear this, and then I want to, because you're going to go somewhere that they go through this right here.
Single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role. The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Well, she's talking about the championship game
right.
a year ago, LSU versus Iowa, and LSU prevailed. But to your earlier point, there was an incident recently. Alyssa Thomas, who happens to be African-American, grabbed Angel Reese by the throat and threw her to the floor. Flagrant 2, ejected from the game. The reason why that doesn't spark as much conversation isn't just that Caitlyn Clark is a bigger star than Alyssa Thomas. It's because it's a black on black incident.
Wow.
And you don't have that dynamic that people can comment on, yes, but also exaggerate and make the entire story sometimes.
And also, that is really that is between the lines.
No one cared about the WNBA when women of a certain color were beating up and bruising each other, because it's been happening since the league's inception. We have this star, this person that people love. They want to protect her. So now the new fans and the new analysts and the new people have so much to say. Bob, thank you for saying that and acknowledging that, because you're a legend in this sport. And you are also gracious enough to say, look, I'm not an expert in the WNBA, but what I do know from the history and what I do know, this is why she is being treated this way, and why no one cares.
Because I've seen it in every sport. I mean, a newcomer.
All right.
He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely
correct. Bob Costas.
I know. I know who Bob Costas is.
St. Louis' own.
So ultimately, everything he said was true. We see it time and time again, and then it is like Angel said, like we're also watching, and we're mainly watching because of her. Do I think that there is some jealousy amongst the more seasoned players and the newcomers? Absolutely. Because like I said, it seemed like they're trying to haze fucking Caitlyn and her. Like how you but did you just Draymond me? Like you just grab my neck? Like The fuck? And so we're seeing this happen. And like I said, like, it is not like I saw that on my timeline maybe one day, whereas we're still talking about what happened with Caitlyn Clark. And that was what earlier, like in the middle, like last week.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that happened, when that girl knocked her down, and you had your own teammates doing wild shit to you, and we talk about it. It's in the news cycle for days on end.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm surprised all these people coming out caping for Caitlyn like that, like saying like they shouldn't be weak on her. She got to get beat up. She a rookie. That's what happens.
Yeah.
None of the other greats in any other sport, people just let them come in there and just dominate the sport because it was good for the sport. Every one of them had to go through their bumps and bruises. And you got to give Caitlyn Clark her credit to let her be able to get beat up and overcome that as a player. That's the thing we love about a story like that for an athlete, is the ability to overcome that those grinds and coming out and becoming out on top of it. If she just ran over the ring, it would get boring fast. And people are like, oh, it's only popping because of Caitlyn Clark. It's got to become a thing. She has to overcome. That's what we love, those hero stories, if you do love Caitlyn Clark like that.
Yeah, and also, and ultimately, I think with both of the girls, I think the problem is that it's coming across like y'all are intentionally trying to hurt them. Like you are trying to, you could do something to me where it really, because like think if when homegirl knocked her over, hit her like that, and she fell, so she could have tore her ACL. Like something could happen. Yeah. But something could have happened. She could have rolled her ankle. She could have had a season-ending injury. And it's like, it's happening to both of them. And I think that people don't like Angel just because it's like in your face raw. Other girl, Caitlyn is just like a little more cookie cutter. And it's mainly, it's like Bob Costas said, it's because.
Oh no, Caitlyn talks that shit though too now.
But nobody talks about it how they talk about Angel. And so where it's like, oh, expected, you're being a bully, you're doing this, and no, I'm doing what everybody else is doing. So why when I do it is it a problem? Whereas when Caitlyn does it, nobody say shit. Nobody said nothing to her about this. But when Angel did it, it was a problem. So it's interesting to see where this will ultimately go. But for sure, let's not even play. Like, yes, we know, like Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoops and all those other greats exist, but people wasn't filling up those seats. And I think there has been because women's basketball is so raw and reminds a lot of people about how, like, of what the league used to be, the NBA used to be. That's why you got people tuning in.
Oh, I didn't even think. Yeah, and that's a good thing that we get to see.
It's a great thing. It's a great.
We're talking about them like this.
Pay the girls more. Y'all just decided that y'all was gonna put them on the PJ this season.
Yeah, this is a great thing that we are letting this happen, man. Like the idea that we're all having this discussion and being able to debate them is a good thing. So I think both sides, those new people coming to WNBA have to be more gracious because you don't understand and like have to sit there and understand what's going on. And those people that have been watching the W have to know that, hey, with becoming more popular, these casual idiots are going to come into sport just like every other sport.
Hey y'all, if y'all like what y'all see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends because we got all the tea. And, if you want to check out more stuff from us, be sure to hit that button right there on the right side so you can see other stuff and, again, share with everybody.